Are you ready to expand your life and reality? Join us for the next hour with Jamie Bates as she shares life-changing thoughts, techniques, and awarenesses to help you expand your reality.
Hello and welcome. I am Jamie Bates, consciousness facilitator and expander of realities. My mission with my radio show is to create greater awareness of what is possible and to expand you beyond the limitations of this reality. I am grateful that you're joining me today. And today I wanted to do a quick check-in with you. I want to really talk about having aha moments and putting those puzzle pieces together to see what your next move in life is. We are in such an amazing, powerful time right now, you guys. And I know if you listen to my radio show regularly, you know that I talk about this a lot, but I am telling you to seize the moment. Now is the time. There is no more time to waste. We are in such a powerful time of awakening and transformation and making good, powerful choices to accelerate your life and to awaken those parts and pieces of you that you require to become that version of you that you have always longed for and desired inside. Lately, I've been super duper busy. I am currently, if you haven't registered yet or you don't know really know what's going on, I am doing a free series right now. We started last week. We've had 2 live calls. I've done like 6 Facebook lives right in a row, day after day after day. And tomorrow, actually, Thursday, today is, just to make this time sensitive, today is July 22nd, 2020. And today, or tomorrow actually, Thursday, is our 3rd live call. We're going to have another live call. And then this Sunday is our last live call. And this series is time sensitive. It's only going to be available through the rest of July. I know a lot of the free series I kind of leave up and let people take whenever they are available to take, but this is a very time sensitive one. This is one that is really all about being present and aware right now. My goal for this course was to really take people through and really get them to having that aha moment. You know, many of us have been really seeing those pictures or those those images of the life you want to live, the person you desire to be inside. I know for me, I've been having such just profound reflections of myself, from looking in the mirror to daily activities. It's like I am literally feeling my image change as I'm stepping more and more into really truly who I be. You know, it's been a process, right? Shedding those layers of things that you are not is a process. It does not happen overnight. I've been teaching transformation and have been literally in the transformation world for most of my life. And I will say right now that the power to change your life, to change your reflection, to change who you be and what you desire for your life is truly more potent than we've ever had possible. I was sharing in my Facebook group, and if you're not part of my Facebook group, I know there's so many people, I get emails a lot. People say, I don't want to be on Facebook. It's an energy drain. I get it. I totally get it. But I also know that for me, I love interacting with people who are like me. I love having the outlet to be able to share and to be able to, show up for people who require it, but also be part of a community of conscious people looking to change their life. So my free group on Facebook is called the Conscious Empath. And it's been growing like crazy, if I can just say that. Thank you all for coming and joining and sharing. But it's so nice to really have that outlet to be able to share awareness, not only for myself, but for other people to be able to share awareness, to be able to really, truly share what we know, what we learn, how we feel, that kind of stuff. And I had shared the other day about how I was having a conversation it was about a past experience that me and my children had experienced, and I was talking to my daughter, and I had really been processing through some leftover trauma that was in that experience over the last month or so, and I had talked to her, and when I was speaking to her about the experience, I'm not going to go into the details here, but when I was speaking to her about the experience, and I was speaking from this place of new awareness and healing and upgraded energy, and I had spoke my truth about the situation for a moment, and as I spoke those words, it was like the closest I can explain to it, it was like my image changed, but like I could feel my image change like inwardly. And I've been having more and more and more, especially the last 6 months, more and more and more of those experiences where I feel like I'm standing in more energy of me than I ever have before. And as I continue to speak my truth, what's in alignment with who I be, not what someone told me I had to think about a situation, not what someone else experienced through the situation, right? Which is a big one. That's a big one for us because we are such investigative energy receivers that oftentimes we will store the experience that we have um, inwardly based on how someone else receives the experience, not based on how we actually perceive the experience, especially if it's an experience we never had before, right? We don't have any reference points to how we should feel about it. And so we internalize the other person's experience, especially if they have a strong emotion around it. Okay. So when you get away from internalizing, or when you get away from you know, having the experience from that third person point of view, or having that experience from what someone else felt around the experience, when you start actually looking at your experiences from the authentic version of how you experienced it, and you start really truly removing and releasing all of the trauma and drama and upset and overwhelm and information that you couldn't process at the time. Because I'm looking at a lot of my old experiences at this point, and I'm realizing that a lot of the baggage and emotional upset and things that I have stored around those old experiences are actually more, again, about the internalization of the other people that were involved in the experience, but also um, more of like, I'm going to say, the innocence of not understanding what was really going on. So it almost had more of a like, file this in like a unknown bad experience or something like that. It's like I'm really investigating those energies and going, okay, wait a second, is that real and true? You know, one of the things that is very common for us, and I know I've talked about this lots in the past as well, is but oftentimes when we look at our experiences, especially from when we're children, from the past, you know, a lot of times we will look at that experience as, we will view that experience as we're watching it instead of us being inside of it. And that is a key indicator that you weren't present enough for that situation because, again, maybe it was so unknown, you didn't know how to react. Maybe it was so traumatic, you actually, you know, kind of fled the scene. Maybe it was so, you know, maybe the other people, like, especially if you experienced abuse, and I know that for myself I have as well, and I know that a lot of the energy I have stored around abuse has a weird energy of like guilt and shame and well, guilt and shame would probably be the biggest two. And I understand now that it's not that I felt guilty or shameful about that experience. It's the person who was perpetrating the abuse on me felt guilty and shameful about what they were doing, right? But because I didn't have a reference point for how I should feel about this experience, I stored it more from the energy of, perceiving or feeling what they were experiencing and deciding that was the same thing that I should experience. And as I have released myself from a lot of these old traumatic experiences, and I have allowed myself to view them in a way of understanding that much of the emotional charge around the experience doesn't even belong to me, and it really has allowed it to transform, which has set that memory free. Yeah, which is allowing me to have more and more space in my body and in my being to start truly creating experiences moving forward instead of continually reference pointing those past experiences as what I have to create from in my future. I hope that makes sense. Because so many of us use our past as a reference point to what we can choose. And this is probably the most common. I think I have a lot of common issues, but this is one of the common issues that I see with people that I work with them. They're scared to open up their heart because the last time they opened up their heart, they got stomped on, or someone hurt them, or someone, took advantage of their kindness, or, the last time they, took a leap and did something, outside of the reference of what they thought was, good or whatever, they had something terrible happen. Maybe they quit their job and then they didn't have money and they had to file bankruptcy. It's like this never ending loop of using our past. Well, I tried that once and something terrible happened, so I could never try that again, right? And what that really does is it locks up and limits our potential to choose something new, or even limits how many new experiences we feel like we can have based on what we experienced last time we had a similar experience or we made a similar choice. And it locks us up and actually truly prevents us from really living the full expression of what we would like to live. Because more than likely, if you chose something one time, if you chose something in the past, it was because a part or a piece of what you chose was actually something that you wanted to create. You just maybe didn't have all the information that you required to actually, do that yet. Maybe it just wasn't time yet. Maybe you had some lessons you still had to finish up before you could actually do that. I mean, there's a lot of variables. And so, again, moving back, when I took the time to actually go through all of those stored memory points and pictures that were telling me, you can't do that, you can't choose that, here's the proof, right? This is how you should feel about this that happened in the past. This is how you should operate when something like this happens. When I actually really took some time to really get clear about those pictures that I had stored, it allowed me to really truly, number one, have those aha moments and put all of those puzzle pieces together to really allow me to see the next version of me. And that next version of me is being downloaded so fast into my body right now. Those reflections that I keep seeing, those energies that I keep receiving. I mean, it's like I keep seeing these future visions of myself in a new home, in a new space, and a new car, and a new life, and it's like, oh gosh, I'm really embracing those pictures because I understand that the universe is inviting me into what is possible in my life by shedding these old layers and by really truly allowing myself to stand in who I truly be. It's giving me more and more of this space to download the true alignment of what I'm looking to create for my life next. Over the years of doing this work in particular, my life has shifted and changed so many times. Even where I'm at now, I would say 5 years ago, yeah, probably 5 years ago, I would have never even imagined that the life I'm living right now could be a possibility for me. The amount of ease I have in my body, the amount of space I have in my life, the amount of just, my husband said the other day, he said, life is just so easy with you. Like, I never even imagined how much ease we could have building a life together. And I just feel like everything is always taken care of no matter what it is that we require. And it was just one of those moments where it was like, yes, like it doesn't really ever matter when you live in this zone of understanding that the universe always does have your back. What your main uh, objective in this reality, right this very moment, is to heal those reflections of your past that are stopping you from living your best expression. Every single one of us came here with a goal and a vision of what we wanted to create. And I, I had a conversation just the other day with someone, and I hear this often from people. I've been trying to create something different for 20 plus years, and I've failed every single time. And I get that. I know that there's been people who've been in the self-improvement world for a really long time and haven't been able to create something different. And I'm telling you, it's because they're even up until even to this day right now, prior to 2012, there is a lot of energy that is available now that was not available prior to 2012. When that energy shift hit in 2012 and actually changed the planet's alignment in the way that it did, it actually allowed the universe to start creating and start receiving new frequencies that it had never received before. And the potential for healing and for releasing and removing these old ingrained patterns that have been stopping you and preventing you from living a life that you love, have only recently become available and have become stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. I mean, don't get me wrong, we've had them, but it's just gotten the frequency, as the intensity is continuing to build. And using what you tried 10 years ago as a reference point to, this is why my life can't change. I already tried that. I already tried 10 years ago to change my life, and I ended up having to file bankruptcy, or I ended up having to you know um move in with my parents, or I ended up having to, I hear all these excuses of people of why they can't change now based on where they failed in the past. And we have to get out of that mindset of having a failure, and understand that everything you have experienced in this life is a product of experience that your soul required in order to move forward. It was like a learning experience. Your failures from the past don't define who you can choose and what you can be in the future. It's just one little blip on your radar. I mean, believe me, I've had plenty of failures, but if I used my failures to continue reference point why I shouldn't choose anything greater in the future, I can't even comprehend that. Like, we have to look at what has happened in our past as a guidepost to things we have learned and things we've discovered and things that we have, uh, you know, uh, created that maybe wasn't quite created as we wanted them to. I look at my business in particular. My business has had, so many shifts and changes, but not for one moment would I ever say that my business has failed just because it hasn't gotten to the level that I am uh, ready for it to be at. Right? Not in a million years would I ever say, oh, well, I should just give up because I've been on it for this long and it still isn't where I want it to be. I mean, I feel like my goals and where I even want it to be now is different than it was even last year. So I don't really, I, I set myself goals and expectations of what I want to create. And when I do something and it doesn't create that, I'm always shifting and changing and figuring out, okay, how can I close the gap? It's not a close the book, oh, tried it, done it, been it, doesn't work. Like, it's always a shift and change and an invocation of, okay, I did that and that didn't really quite create the exact energy that I'm looking for. So what can I be now? What can I receive now? What can I choose now? What can I create more of that's going to create a bigger and faster expansion of what I want to be? Shifting and changing your life and becoming the creator of your reality and going beyond limitations uh, is a constant shift and change of where you're going and what you desire in alignment with what you have already created and what you've learned in the process. I think I worded that correctly. I'm trying to make this all make sense as I'm speaking it out loud. Understanding that, having aha moments, putting those puzzle pieces together of your life really includes continuous forward motion, even when, you know, uh, and I don't want to say when something devastating happens, because there's always like, shifts and forks in the road and things that come up. But when you understand that when you're moving forward, and especially for every single one of us, when you're upgrading your life, there's always going to be things that are going to come in and kind of put that little, it's just how the universe works, that little like, oh, well, here's a little fork in the road, right? So what are you going to do now? Are you going to lose your shit and freak out and quit because it's too hard? Or are you going to look at that fork in the road and know that, okay, this is just one more thing that I need to navigate around or through or beyond to get to where I'm going? Healing, shifting, changing, transforming your life, putting those puzzle pieces together to see what your next move is really, truly all about continuing that forward motion and understanding that, sure, there's going to be things that come up in your life. There's things that come up in my life, but we've learned how to dance through the things and to navigate around and through and uh, beyond the things that come up, and know that no matter what happens, no matter what it is, the universe is always going to have my back to create the best possible outcome. Are there things that come up in my life that I, don't really plan for, or that I, aren't really necessarily like, it's not all peaches and cream, definitely not. But when something does come up, I'm standing in that energy that I know that the universe has my back to create best possible outcome, no matter what the situation entails. And I don't stop myself or the creation of what I'm doing or the forward motion because something came up that feels scary or overwhelming, or I can't even really say anything really necessarily feels scary or overwhelming anymore, because I don't even have that auto default anymore. It's like, okay, well, now this is going on. So what do we do with this? How do we move forward with it? How do we, shift this? What is required of me, at this point in this journey? And it's just a continuous dance of always moving forward and knowing that there's not going to be anything that's going to be too hard for me to tackle. Nice deep breath. Let's just let this vortex for a moment here and just give you more space, more space, more space, more space. Why don't we take a quick break on this moment here, and when we come back, we will continue to talk about how to have more of those aha moments and how to put those puzzle pieces together.
The energetic receive method is a set of energy processes to heal, transform, and create your life. These tools will teach you step by step to process energy, heal your past, transform your thoughts, and create your life. The energetic receive method can be found at the Conscious Empath Consciousness Playground. See the show notes for links to this program and more.
And we're back talking about how to have more of those aha moments and how to really put those puzzle pieces together so you can see that next version of your life showing up, or you showing up with that next version of you to really truly move your life forward. So as I talked a little bit about really, dissecting your past, if you will, and those past experiences that feel like they're still sticking you and you still have those energies left over. But also, uh, another way to really truly get those aha moments, put those puzzle pieces together, is to really truly start making those conscious choices. And the free series I'm doing right now, I'm talking a lot about making conscious choices. When you start making a conscious choice, when you get up every single day and you make a conscious choice that I'm going to heal, I'm going to change my life. I'm going to shift this stuff that isn't working for me. I'm going to transform and become the best version of me for my one and only life that I possibly can be. Okay, this is our one and only life here, right? This very moment. This is the life that we are living. This is the body that you're in. Why not focus forward? Why not make that conscious commitment to every single day, really truly choosing to transform, shift, change, grow? Again, I have been transforming my life for the past 10 years at least. I've been in active transformation. And for me, it always feels like I'm always upgrading. I'm always shifting and changing. I don't ever have to be who I was yesterday or even last month. And if I make a choice or I do something that doesn't feel like it created the best outcome, I always know that I always get a chance to, clear that energy, to change that energy, and to choose something different. I don't ever have to be stuck in this point of view that I made a mistake and now I have to linger in it for, the next 6 months and think about it and obsess about it. I can really truly stand in a new energy and I can uh, move on with my life, right? That's what we're all looking for. We're all looking for that energy of moving on and moving forward and having and living and being in the best expression of who we truly be that we possibly can. Yeah, so in the free series, actually, tomorrow, I'm really diving into really getting clear about the path that you can take to truly embrace being a conscious and aware being. The free series that I'm doing right now is called Becoming the Conscious Empath. And it really, truly, I shared in the first call, I shared my two basically fundamental tools which I talk about often, which is the expanding and the receiving. Those are fundamental to shifting and changing your life. And then through we did the first call, and then I did 5 straight days of Facebook Lives where we just did some shifting and some changing, some expanding, some receiving, cleared out some different energies. And then we did call number 2, which was just a few days ago. I think it was Monday. Today's Wednesday. Yeah, it was Monday. And call number 2 was all really about the path of making the conscious choice to heal, shift, change, transform your life. And I actually highlighted 5 different people who I have worked with that are some of my favorite transformations that I've witnessed from people who have really truly made the commitment to getting rid of that anxiety and overwhelm and the energy drains in their life, and really made that conscious commitment to move forward. And I shared their journeys and what they've created and how they've taken the tools that I have taught them, and they've really truly allowed themselves to live in the greatest expansion of who they are right now, and how they can continue to use those tools as they wish moving forward, right? It's a progression. It's not just okay, here I am, now I have to stop here. It's like it's ever expanding. It's understanding that we can use some magical tools. We are empaths. We are full spectrum receivers. We are a being. We have a body. Our being is capable of creating so much magic. Our body is a receiving organ. And if we can receive energy into our body, we can create anything that we desire. It's about getting clear. It's about making choices. It's about receiving into your body. It's about not getting stuck and those old yucky old energies and experiences and definitions and expectations. And it's really truly learning to stand in you and live the life that you love. So tomorrow's call is going to be really just all about the path. I'm going to kind of take you through the breakdown of the path. I'm going to explain the different levels, if you will, of kind of the experience of what a true kind of awakened journey looks like, and how to really gauge and pull yourself through that path of getting to the place where you are the conscious empath, where you understand that everything is a dance, that the world has your back, that you can have faith in really yourself and the decision to move your life forward, and know that whatever you are seeking in your life, whatever you are seeking is also seeking you, period. So if you have always had this yearning for relationship, or to be a parent, or to have a certain job, or to live somewhere that you don't live now, or to have a certain home, or maybe all of those things, maybe you have yet to accomplish any of those things and you want all of it, you're like, I will take all of it, please, right? I'm gonna talk about uh, basically how if you have that yearning inside of you, it's because you have the capacity to create it. Okay. And I have said this, I can't even tell you how many times. If you have a yearning to create something for your life, it's that yearning is only there because you have the possibility to create it. Now, it's going to take you time and space to get to that creation, right? But understand that because you already have awareness of it, it is a possibility for you, right? And the universe wants you to create that, because more than likely that's an expression of you that wants to be expressed this lifetime. So to essentially close that gap, you just need the tools, you just need the information, you just need the path layout to get you to from where you are right now to envisioning that end goal, and really standing in that energy, being able to actualize that energy without all of that noise in the way that says, nope, you can't do that, you already tried, it didn't work. Or no, you can't have that, you already tried, it didn't work. Or no, you can't do that, you've been looking for a long time, there's no good possibilities left, right? You have to get beyond those stopping points, because those stopping points are energetic markers that are stopping you from living in that true expansion of you. Yeah, so tomorrow I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about that path, and I'm going to break it down for you and easy to learn step by step, so you can understand and you can see that again, what you are looking to create for your life, what those visions that you've been having, those things that you've been seeing, those puzzle pieces that have been flashing before your eyes, those are a real possibility for you. You would not be having them if the universe was not trying to tell you that this is where your being wants to go. This is where your expression is looking to lead you to. Right? You are a divine being, and the universe is here to support you in creating anything that you desire to be created. So on the call tomorrow, I'm going to be really talking about that. I'm going to be talking about the path, the step-by-step kind of to get you there. And then the last call on Sunday, I'm going to be revealing a secret, special offer for really, truly embracing the space that you want to be. So you can sign up for that free series on my website, Jamie, Jamie Bates, BATES.com. You can go right to the homepage. You can sign up there. I have had such an amazing turnout of people, which is really, really cool. I have more people signed up for this series than I've ever had for any series ever. And I've been doing series for like 8 years now, guys. So that's really big news. And my Facebook group is growing like crazy right now. Again, it's the Conscious Empath. It seems like every time I get on there, it's like 20 new requests, 30 new requests. Like, oh my gosh, I got up the other morning. I had literally been on there at like, I don't know, midnight. And I got up the next morning. It was like 9 o'clock in the morning when I looked at Facebook, and it was like 57 new requests. I was like, whoo, oh my gosh. When I told the universe I was ready for my group to fill out, it was not even kidding that it was going to start sending people in droves. So I am super grateful for that. I am super excited for everything we have coming up. I'm really have been working these past pretty much all of 2020 now. These past 7 months, I've been really working on lots of personal upgrades, lots of business upgrades, lots of new focus moving forward, and I have lots of amazing things planned for the rest of this year. So if you are not on my email list, I suggest you get on there ASAP, because I'm going to have lots of super cool stuff. Plus, again, you can join us on the Facebook group, The Conscious Empath, and really, truly learn, shift, change, transform, make choices, make those conscious choices to move yourself forward. So I hope today I helped you kind of get some more clarity, some more information on how to really truly start having more of those aha moments by digging through, by making those conscious choices moving forward, and really understanding that any vision you have been seeing that you desire for your life is a possibility for you. And the universe is here to support you in the creation of that. So keep moving, keep going, keep choosing it, and allowing yourself to continue to receive. Just getting out of all that stuff in the way is really where the the uh, the stopping comes, right? But join me on the free series, and I'm going to show you how to go beyond that. So thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope that I will connect to you in the future. If you enjoy this program, please comment, let me know, give me some love there on the podcast, like the podcast, comment. Also, you can always contact me. You can email me at Jamie, Jamie, at jamie-bates.com. Thank you so much for listening to me today, and I will talk to you next week. Have a great day. Bye.
You have been listening to Expand Your Reality with your host, Jamie Bates. Thank you for listening.